Man. If you listen to the Dated podcast right now, you on the way to work. Email your boss and say you're not coming in no more. If you're running late to work right now, you had a fun Sunday, you had a late, fun Sunday, and you late to work already, turn your car around, go home. If your rent 15 days late and you say, I don't know how I'm going to pay it, oh my God, my landlord is upset at me, don't pay it. Don't pay it. It'll be all right. I got 100 hugs and 100 kisses. Nigga, I'm from Ohio. Man, it's been a crazy week. Welcome back to Dated. Sorry. This is Dated, a show that investigates love. We're back, man. It's been one of those weekends. All right. It's one of those weekends that, you know what, bro? I hope we make it out alive. Okay. It's one of those weekends where I think everybody knew going into the spring, summer in New York City, the winter that we had, when all my friends were, oh my God, it's 75 degrees outside in March. Oh my God. All my friends in LA, all my friends in San Francisco, oh my God, the weather's so nice. Oh, y'all still chilly. It's 80 degrees in April. Yeah, I get it, nigga. But you know what we've been doing in New York City? As of late, having the time of our motherfucking lives. Welcome to Dated, man. This episode is it's just me because I had some technical difficulties this past weekend recording an episode. I'm gonna try to get the episode out still this week, but this is Monday morning. I'm hungover, dehydrated, and I said I still need to feed the people and talk to them directly about what has happened this weekend. This is coming out same day. This is like fresh off the press. This is shoot around. All right, so I'm getting intimate with y'all because y'all love me and I love y'all so much. But man, if you're in New York City right now, this is going to be one of the summers I think of our lives, and I've never lived in New York a day in my life outside of the last year and a half. But it has that feeling. We got a new mayor, Mom Donnie, who's turned up. You know what I'm saying? My mayor's Muslim. I say my mayor's Muslim. My bagels are Jewish, and my rent's high. I don't know what the third thing was, but anyways, Mom Donnie's lit. You know what I'm saying? Got the city on lock, clean. Everybody fucks with him heavy. The weather is gonna be the weather. We had a long summer. Had a long winter. So we just outside, man. It's been a good time. But the Knicks. If you're not a Knicks fan, I think, unless you were like a 76ers fan or a Celtics fan, everybody in the city was happy to see the Knicks win. It was one of those things where it had been so long since the Knicks have been good. The team is likable that everybody that was just in the city was just, whether a fake fan, whatever you want to call it, was just happy to see the Knicks win. All right, I'm a Lakers fan. I grew up watching the Lakers. And but the energy, the community that the Knicks winning brought was like unmatched. And I've lived in a couple different cities that teams have won. I lived in Echo Park when the Dodgers won the World Series. I lived in Chicago right after the Cubs won the World Series in 2017. I think they won it the year before. I think I was in LA or just moved to LA when the Lakers had won. So like I had been in these cities where teams were really good. But there was nothing like this. All the videos you see of people on buses and crowds of people watching outside, like all that shit was real. And it was in multiple parts of the city. It wasn't like, you know, when your mom sends you a voicemail or an email or voicemail or like a video from TikTok and it's like, New York is flooding. And it's just really one street where the shit was backed up and it's flooding and like whatever. No, this was all over from Lower Manhattan to Brooklyn, different parts of Brooklyn, Williamsburg, Bed-Stuy, Fort Greene. Like people were just outside. You couldn't just like walk 3 blocks and not see some kind of block party for watching the game. And I think it's hard to hate on that as someone who like enjoys community. I think most people that live in New York enjoy community and enjoy learning from each other. And it was just an amazing week, man. Like the finals run, I think Game 5 was at its peak, even though they weren't even here in New York City. And it was just a good time. And that was this past week. I guess that Saturday. Yeah, it was Saturday. And then yesterday, if you listen to this the day it comes out on June 15th, on Sunday there was this thing called the Layout at Fort Greene. And if you don't live in Brooklyn, you don't understand how small Black Brooklyn is. Black Brooklyn is it's like high school almost. And I didn't realize that until this event. So the event was beautiful. It was chill, low key, just people outside, selling drinks and nutcrackers, and but there's a lot of Black people. I saw every single woman that I've text, called, or emailed, I saw in Brooklyn this weekend. Every DM, email, letter. Oh, hey, we talked, so we texted so. I DM'd you this time, that time. Oh, you remember we matched? We matched once. I thought we might have matched once. Every Black lady I've ever been in dialogue with, I saw in Brooklyn this weekend, specifically Fort Greene. It's a problem. It was the last episode I made a joke about places to cheat. Fort Greene in the summer is the opposite place to cheat. You're gonna see your family, a couple of different families that you started all in one place. Block parties are the worst place to cheat probably in New York City. Black block parties. Because I saw everybody. Luckily, I was just chilling with the homies. I wasn't on nothing. I wasn't on that creep shit. But for better or for worse, you're going to see everybody at a block party in Brooklyn, for better or for worse. But it was cool to see a bunch of people that I had not seen in a minute. Some homies that I didn't even know were there. So it was just kind of bopping around. And this is like what, Spike Lee, like Do the Right Thing, and all these like movies that glorify New York. This is the time when you take advantage of New York. And I saw a couple of people also. A lot of y'all came up to me, when we were at this party on Sunday, yesterday, in Fort Greene. And it honestly takes me back every time somebody says something to me in person, because this show isn't like massive, right? I don't have a massive following, but legitimately yesterday, y'all, about 7 or 8 people came up to me and said they liked the pod, they liked the clips. And it really meant a lot. I make a lot of jokes on this podcast about, dating and this outlandish shit sometimes. And I really appreciate the community that we're building. And y'all continue to show me that y'all are part of my community by just saying what's up in person. I like your shit. In various levels of like, some trying to holler. Sometimes some of y'all are just being really cool and chill and just like, man, like your stuff is so funny. So I really do appreciate y'all saying what's up. And supporting the pod, supporting the clips, supporting me. However, I had somebody that I didn't even realize was at the show came up to me, that show that I had at Bushwick Comedy Club last month, and I didn't even recognize him. So it's like that real community thing we're building, and I'm really excited about finishing out the year really, really strong. But I know I mentioned his name a second ago. We got to protect Spike Lee at all costs. We got to wrap Spike Lee in like linen and like Egyptian cotton, like swaddle him like a little baby. All right, Spike Lee, he deserves every piece of fandom, every piece of happiness he has. Spike Lee deserves it. I don't know what we got to do is caress his old little man head or something, and carry him on our backs from Fort Greene to Brooklyn to Manhattan. But we got to protect Spike Lee at all costs. This nigga is a national treasure. It's the same nigga that made Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying? The same nigga that made Do the Right Thing. He is New York through and through, and it's really cool to see him be happy. Older black people be happy. People that, the same demographic of people that are also being like pushed out of Brooklyn. And it was a lot of white people in Brooklyn, but in general though, it did feel like for all the issues that we have as a city, New York has as a city, and I feel like I can barely say we because I'm just now getting my feet wet into the city. The Knicks winning was like a unifying thing. Like it was one of those things where black, white, whatever, people were just together and having, fun. At least here in Brooklyn. I wasn't in the city. I wasn't in Upper West Side, Upper East Side. I wasn't in Queens. Here in Brooklyn, Fort Greene, it was like people were just outside enjoying themselves. So that was really cool to see. Last thing on sports. Once again, this will be a little bit of a shorter episode because I had some technical difficulties. But last thing on sports. I'm a big UFC fan, and these niggas make it harder and harder to be a UFC fan. In UFC, Ultimate Fighting, MMA, I grew up around boxing. My stepdad was a professional boxer. growing up, and so I like fighting. I like fight sports. I say that. But they had the White House. They had a match at the a fight card at the White House, which was met with a lot of disgruntled feedback, and like people like, why is this at the White House, et cetera, et cetera. This is becoming even overtly politicized, even though the UFC, the person who runs the UFC, this guy named Dana White, has aligned himself with Trump many a time over. But the cosign to go to the White House is like almost 100% like we're one and the same. So that was one part. Just having it at the White House was kind of weird. The second part that was weirder was the fact that on every commercial was like some weird military like propaganda. Like I was with someone watching the game, and they weren't from America, and so as she was watching it, she was like, "This is crazy." And like seeing someone see America in a different lens around you helps you understand how fucked America is right now, because it did feel like propaganda. Like they had the fighters walking out the Oval Office, and they had, the orchestra playing, and between every fight there was some recruiting commercial, or it was some, America the Proud, America the Great. It was usually those fights is like energy drink commercials, or it's betting FanDuel commercials, like dick pills, whatever. But for it to be almost exclusively propaganda was really strange. And I think being around people that aren't from America, you realize truly how fucked we are. But enough sports. I want to get into our favorite segment of the week, DM of the week. Once again, this is a short week, short Monday pod with just you and I talking to you, little cute little babies. And I want to give you a couple DMs that I received into my little old DMs. Once again, before I say DM of the week, make sure you keep shooting your shot in DMs, make connections, connect with people. And if someone doesn't reply to you, that's okay. But fuck it, at least you tried. First DM of the week that I got this week. This was maybe one of my favorites of all time. She says, I kind of need that, maybe biblically. I kind of need that, maybe biblically. What do you mean, maybe biblically? And what is that? She just replied naked. Nothing. There was no, hey, I like what you just did. I like that shirt you have. I like how you look in this specific picture. She just said that. She shot her shot off the dribble. I'm not mad at that. I don't know what needing that biblically means. That feels kind of not religious in a way. Whatever that is, that could just mean, hey, I need that shirt you have on. I need that hat you have. Or it can be my dick. I don't know. But shout out to you for shooting your shot, because you know what? It's summertime. It's time to shoot. Second and last one, also very funny. You look like somebody's daddy, but I like it. See, now you're playing with me. Because I'll be joking about, look, the Knicks winning, it's going to be a whole generation of kids that are Knicks babies. We had COVID babies. COVID babies were strong. COVID babies was, they was holding their head up in 2 months and shit. They was walking in 8 months, and big, healthy, stress-free babies. It's going to be a whole generation of New York Knicks baby. Bodega Brunson Johnson. Carl Anthony Mike Brown Jenkins. You know what I'm saying? OG Phil Jackson the third Ewing. You know what I'm saying? Madison Square Smith. Like it's going to be a generation. I mean, it probably started this weekend. We'll see. Maybe next March, February, March, April. It's going to be some some Puerto Rican Day Parade babies, some Knicks babies. We're outside. It felt feral outside yesterday. This past weekend in New York City. It felt like people were like, you know what? I'm ready to settle down and start a situation with somebody, a family specifically. And I can see that. So you look like somebody's daddy, but I like it. I'm not mad at that either, because you know what? I won't say that. By the time you're listening to this, I'm not somebody's daddy, but a couple weeks, we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. I'm being safe. But at a certain point, you got to be like, all right, well, it is what it is. I'm 33. But yeah, a couple really good DM shots. I appreciate those DM shots. I kind of need that, maybe biblically, and you look like somebody's daddy, but I like it. I like that too. All right, before we close out the episode, it's a very short Monday emergency episode. This is every episode I end a kind of a hot take, kind of a maybe not a toxic take, but like something I wouldn't say at the top of the episode. The East African, all right, you know that term 90s fine, like, oh, she's 90s fine, she's 90s fine, Nia Long, you know what I'm saying, that kind of vibe. Being in New York is a very multicultural city, all right? It's something about the East African shorties. It's like, that's like original recipe black fine. I don't know what it is. Like, they look stoic. It's something about them where it's like, you not 90s fine. You're BC fine. Anciently fine. Not in the ancient as in you look ancient, but you like original. You like the first fine. Like, you're the derivative of the first fine black lady ever. Sorry, I don't know what it is. I know it's the it's something about the face where it's like, yeah, you look different in a way that we should have a couple of different conversations about just life in general. And when I say life, I mean you and I starting a life together. But maybe if I'm wrong, let me know. But that's my one spicy hot take. It's really not even spicy. It's really bigging up all the beautiful East African joints in the city of New York. I know DC got a lot of them too. I need a DC run. I don't know if Rose Bar is still available or around. I need a Rose Bar run. I need a park day. Last time I was in DC, I told you I was gonna leave, but I'm still here. Last time I was in DC, I had a really fun time at Park. And if you live in DC, let me know if Park still is available or if that's canceled or whatever. But we got to Park at probably like 3:30 for like a day party. We did not leave Park until about 12:31. We got to Park. Park is like this, I guess it's known for day parties in Washington, D.C. And I know D.C. is known for the day party kind of black, vibes, culture. I don't know if it's still like that, but I know this is probably 6, 7, 8 years ago. We was in that bitch literally for 8 or so hours. And it was one of those fun things where we got a table, we got bottles, and then people kind of came and went. So it was like this weird, a couple bottles, and then 2 or 3 people leave, 1 person comes. 1 person leaves, 2 or 3 people come. 2 or 3 people come, 5 people leave. And it was just like this weird revolving door of people and bottles. Oh, we running out. Oh, okay, this dude comes in, brings it. And it was fun. And this feels like one of those summers where we're just going to be doing shit that is fun, rent's expensive, Trump's president, the world is ending, America's ending, but I feel like a lot of us are like, you know what? What we will do, whether you live in New York, whether you live in Chicago, whether you live in Nashville, whether you live in Los Angeles, we need to be having fun, especially my people of color. We need to be outside, enjoying ourselves, making community, enjoying our community, supporting people in the community. A lot of our small businesses out there, you're thinking about date night, find the little black-owned spots, find the little wine bars, go buy a bottle of wine at the little, upstart wine shop. Go buy some cupcakes from the black bakery chick. Take the extra 15 minutes just to Google and look up shit in your city, especially in New York. There's so many black-owned businesses around there. Like I'm having my birthday at a little black-owned wine spot, or I think they do sell wine here in Brooklyn, and I'm gonna try to be better at that too, and support each other. I think the point where we're at in this world is we have to be community-based. We have to organize as a community, whatever your interests are, black, white, queer, whatever, especially during Pride. Support the homies, protect the homies, and yeah, take that little extra second. We all can't be perfect, right? We're all going to use Amazon every now and then. We're all going to, have an emergency, need to go to Target, whatever it is. But when you have a moment, we have a second, we have intention in mind, support your people, because people fucking need it. But anyways, y'all, that's another episode of Dated. A short Dated. All right. Once again, I'm sorry. We had some technical difficulties. Shit was hectic this weekend. I'm doing this all by my motherfucking self. Next time you hear from me, in a couple weeks is my birthday. When you hear this, 10 days. My birthday's in 10 days. And 34 is coming fast, dog. 34 is that first birthday where I'm like, oh, okay, nigga. Watch yourself. We getting there. We getting there. I still feel good though. I still feel like, you know what I'm saying, I can fight good. I still feel like I look great. But it's one of them birthdays where it's like, all right, big dog, gotta get your shit together. I was at the park. I keep saying I'm gonna leave, and I keep thinking these different little moments. I was at the park a couple of days ago, and some homies of mine that I have recently just met, a little older. Sometimes talking to people that are a little bit older is super helpful, especially when you're in the arts, because they can give you some perspective. And Buddy, he's from London, or at least the UK, and lives here now, and is a DJ. And he was telling me that, I'm expressing like I'm 34. I feel old. I feel kind of like, oh shit. And he was like, New York is one of those cities where 34 is not old at all. Like, there's so many people that are still trying to figure this shit out at 35, 36, 37, 40, are just now catching their wave. And I was like, you're kind of right. And a lot of my friends are in that space. They just look really good. They look young as fuck. But low key, a lot of our, the famous comedians, people that we like, are all low key 37, 38, 42. And just hitting their stride. But I think for me, it's one of those things to be vulnerable with y'all, is that I want to be going into 34. I really want to be in that space where even if I'm not exactly where I want to be, I can see that I'm ascending up the mountain. Like, you're going on a hike and you're like pulling up to the hike, or you're finishing a hard workout and it's like, fuck, I haven't even started yet. I haven't started the hard set yet. I'm just warming up. I want to be like taking that, like getting those reps in it during the hard set. I want to be starting to climb that first little push up the mountain and seeing that, okay, we're ascending. We're not at the mountaintop. We're not finished with the workout. We're not cooling down yet. But I want to really see myself in a position where things are ascending. And I think you all listening, watching, coming up to me in person is helping remind me that I am ascending, that I am in the space where things are happening, things are growing. I'm doing better than ever, and that means a lot. It really does mean a lot. And it's legitimately yesterday. Like 7 or 8 people came up to me saying they fuck with the pod and fuck with Dated, and it does a lot for someone that's doing all this by themselves. No one asked me to do it. In a space where podcasting does almost feel cheesy sometimes. Like, oh, I have a podcast. And we say some ridiculous things on here at times, and I hope y'all know it's all unjust, and we want to have fun conversations. But anyways, another episode of Dated. Love y'all so much. Enjoy the summer, especially if you're in New York City. And if you're not in New York City, enjoy the summer. Call your friends, call your mama. I love you so much. Mwah, mwah, mwah.